Bam. All right, welcome to Sunday Night Mindset, guys. We're gonna wrap this thing up. The week is coming to is the month is coming to an end as of tomorrow. I don't know if you guys know, but tomorrow is definitely month end. So we're gonna be looking at some numbers right now because we're not having like the best month ever, but but it's better than being dead, right? Better than not having this business, better than um not being excited about the future, better than being at a job, right? And if you have a job, and if you're in this meeting and you have a job, then you know what? That's the exciting part, is because you're gonna one day you're gonna get rid of your boss. You're gonna get rid of your boss, and you're gonna get rid of your job, and you're gonna be able to jump into a journey that, man, guys, this journey has been really amazing for me and my wife. It wasn't easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. And you have to have the right the right thinking. You have to have the right thinking when it comes to this business. And when it comes to building a business, right? There's always going to be opportunities for you to be like, whatever, or not believe in yourself. Some of you guys don't have that problem, man. Some of you guys, I see you guys like, dang, dude, like they go through hell and they still overcome the challenges, right? Um, Always give out a big shout out. So let's look at the numbers here. You guys can see it on the screen, right? I'm sharing my screen. Look at the numbers here. At number one, Miguel Illich with $244,000 in premium, okay? And you might be looking at him and saying, "Man, what a crazy stud!" And he is a stud. Amazing things that he does, and he does. But you know what, guys? It all comes with the amount of recruits that he has. Number one, okay, this business is a recruiting business. This business is about building teams, building multiple streams of income through recruiting, not through selling different products. It's through recruiting is how everything is going to happen. Also, the second thing that he has going for him is, and I need to point this out always, because sometimes we forget that Miguel Illich has, what does it say right there, guys? Look at this. He has 856 agents in the base shop, not in the hierarchy, in the base shop. Just in the base shop alone, he has 856 codes. So look at this. No wonder they're doing over 200,000 in premium. In fact, 856 codes doing 200 in premium is actually is actually is kind of low, right? I mean, it's kind of low if you look at the ratios, and let's see the ratios. Okay, so he's doing 200. Let's go back over here. He's doing $244,000 in premium. Okay. So 244,000 in premium divided by 856 codes. So so look at this. He's doing $285 in premium per code. You see that? This is something that you gotta look at, okay? You can't just deny, you can't oversee this, okay? So I'm gonna do this again, okay? So 244,000 in premium divided by 856 codes equals 246 codes per premium. All right. So now let's look at the desert heat hierarchy, right? So let's look at the desert heat hierarchy. Hold on. Let me move it around here. Okay, it's over here. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna show you something that you guys all need to learn, okay? So here's a recruit to code right here, okay? So this is Miguel. I'm gonna put Miguel. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, you guys can see that? All right, so check this out. So now we're gonna look at my base shop. So we're gonna do Raul Avila. All right. Raul Avila has how many codes? So let's look at the dashboard, and we're gonna look at how many codes my base shop has. because this is how you have to look at it. So in the base shop, look at this. In the base shop, we have 191 codes. 191 codes. And we are at $36,000 in premium. So 36,436 divided by, okay, so you see those numbers right there, right? So look at this. So look at this, guys. Our our base shop is doing, oh, thank you. Thank you. Apple AI did the math for me, right? So look at this. So Miguel Illich has 244,000 in premium, but he has 406 codes. See that? So let me go ahead and show the notes here. Okay, so look at this. So he has 244,000 in premium, 856 codes. He's doing $285 in premium per code. Our base shop is doing 36,000 in premium, 191 codes. So we're doing $190 per code. So our $190 in premium per code. So we have more people. We have They have more people, but more people are working or their premium is higher, but it's not that far of a difference. You see that? My point here that I'm trying to make is that the reason he's doing $244,000 in premium is because he has more codes. Okay, so you got to be looking at your codes. How many codes do you have, Maria? How many codes do you have in your organization, right? How many codes do you have, Alma, that is helping you? This business, if you do it alone, is going to take you a long time to get to where you want to go. And Primerica, don't forget, guys, that this is a recruiting business. Okay, so that's really what I'm trying to point out here. Um, I'm gonna read to you guys something that I was reading. It's a book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Battlefield of the Mind. Okay, so let's see if I could put it all in one slide. There we go. There's a chapter right here that says, "Be positive." Chapter 5, "Be positive. It shall be done for you as you have belief." Okay, so look at this. Be positive. Um, Positive minds produce positive lives. Negative minds produce negative lives. Positive thoughts are always full of faith and hope. So write this down, okay? You're taking notes. Please take notes on this, okay? Because you're not gonna remember this, okay? Well, pull out your notepad where you take all your notes and all the meetings and write these things down, okay, guys? When you have positive thoughts, you're always full of faith and hope. So, what are the thoughts that are going through your mind, right? Because the thoughts that are going through your mind are going to create either faith and hope, or if you're having negative thoughts, you're gonna be full of faith, full of fear and doubt. So what do you want to be full of? Faith and hope or fear and doubt? Okay? And that's something, guys, that we have to always be working on. Okay? If you're seeing things in the negative point of view, you're always gonna have these, you're always gonna be operating out of fear, out of the ego, out of pride, out of doubt. Some people are afraid to hope because they have been hurt so much in life. So think about this, okay? You got to heal from that, because if you've been hurt in the past, it's normal. People get hurt. People hurt people, and people get hurt all the time. And you have to somehow heal from those wounds, heal from things that have happened to you in the past. Because if you don't heal from them, then you're not gonna be chasing after hope. You're not gonna have faith because you're afraid to hope because you've been hurt in the past. Does that make sense? It says right here, people that operate from the negative mindset, and are afraid to hope because they've hurt in the past, have had so many disappointments that they don't think that they can face the pain of another one again. Okay. So guys, that's one of the things that I was listening to, also podcasts of what it takes to win in business, what it takes to win. Give me one second. Let's see. Okay. What does it take to win in business? Okay. What does it take to win in business is that you can't take things emotionally. You got to separate the emotion from, the emotion from the things that have happened to you. So, for example, let's say you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend in the past, and they hurt you. Let's say they broke your little heart, right? And then all of a sudden your mindset is like, hell no, I'm not gonna get in a relationship again because the last time I was in a relationship, I got brokenhearted and and it's good to take some time off. If somebody did break your heart, it's good to take them some time off, right? But imagine if you made an agreement that you're never gonna be in a relationship ever again. That would be kind of dumb, right? I mean, it's even silly for me to say it, but sometimes when you get a chargeback in Primerica, for example, right? In business, you get chargebacks, right? Too, it's just business. You get a chargeback in business, or your best guy quits, or the person that you thought was your friend backstabs you and says bad things about you, and all of a sudden you're like, man, that sucks, man. Now I don't want to do a sale. Now I don't want to recruit somebody else because of what has happened in the past. And guys, you have to get over that emotion, and you have to uh get over the fact that there was a disappointment in your life, right? This avoidance of hope is a type of protection against being hurt. Okay? Disappointment hurts. So rather than being hurt again, many people simply refuse to hope and believe anything good will ever happen to them. You see that? So they're hurt, so they just believe that nothing good will ever happen to them. This type of behavior sets up for a negative lifestyle. Everything becomes negative because the thoughts are negative. So you see that? So if your thoughts are negative because something negative happened to you, then now everything becomes negative because your thoughts are negative, right? Look at what it says in Proverbs 23, verse 7. It says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." You see that? Remember I spoke about T-bar, right? Your thoughts create your results. So your thoughts are things. Results are actual things, right? Money is a thing, right? You the results that you get in this business ultimately pay you, and pay you not just well, like in a sale, you make 500 bucks in one sale. Is that crazy or what? Just think about that. Being in a place that you're able to get so good in this business that you could make $500 in one sale, but then eventually you develop an RVP, and now you're making 50. An average RVP pays you about $50,000 a year. Did you know that? $50,000 a year. Write that down. If when I develop an RVP, I'm building a passive income of $50,000 a year. So every RVP that you develop is like duplicating yourself, because the average person in the United States makes $50,000 a year. Just think about that, okay? The average income in the United States is about $50 to $55,000 a year. So every time you develop an RVP, they're making their $100,000 because an average RVP makes 10,000 a month, right? But when you were the person that developed the RVP, this is why you're working hard, guys. Let me remind you, okay? This is why Primerica is better than any other opportunity on planet Earth. Why have I stayed in Primerica for 23 years? This is it right here, okay? Because I'm chasing after developing RVPs, because when I develop an RVP, I just duplicated myself. I just made another clone, and that clone is basically a person working and paying me $50,000 a year. Now, like for example, when I develop, and RVPs really develop themselves, but you help out a little bit, right? Like right now, we're collaborating, and we have a date for March 22nd for the big event. Desert Cities Wealth Summit 2.0 is coming up, and we're collaborating, right? So we're helping each other out. I'm feeding off of them, they're feeding off of me. We're just feeding off each other. But every RVP that I develop, I get paid $50,000 a year by Primerica, because Primerica saying, boom, there's a leader right there. I'm going to pay this leader some money because this leader is developing leaders. This is not just a leader that develops followers. This is a leader that develops leaders. Be the leader that develops leaders. Okay. So, so, um, so every time I develop somebody, I get paid $50,000 a year. I make an additional $50,000 a year. I mean, that's just crazy, right? Think about that. So that's why I work so hard. I'm working so hard in the base shop, developing the next regional vice president. So what are you thinking about, guys? What's going through your mind most of the time? What is the thing that dominates your thoughts mostly? Okay. You got to think about that. Okay. This is really important. Many years ago, I was extremely negative. Many years ago, I was extremely negative. Give me one second. Oh, here it is. Okay. It says right here, this is battlefields of the mind. The preacher is oh man, I forgot her name, but anyways, she's talking here. It says many years I was extremely negative. I always say that if I thought two positive thoughts in a row, my mind would get in a cramp. My whole philosophy was this: if you don't expect anything good to happen, then you won't be disappointed when it doesn't happen. Is this one of your thought processes? I'm going to color it in red because it shouldn't be one of your thought processes, okay? But maybe it is. And maybe this is something that you need to break. Maybe this is something that is ingrained inside of you and you don't even realize it, and you're thinking, I'm just gonna not expect. See, remember, Art Williams used to say this all the time, right? He says, "You get what you expect." Write that down. You will get what you expect, and if you don't expect anything good to happen to you, then it's not gonna happen. And then the mindset that even is worse than that is then you won't be disappointed when it doesn't happen, right? Because you don't have high expectations. So if it doesn't happen, then you're not disappointed. But then you don't have nothing. Then you're broke. Then you're paycheck to paycheck. Then you're like a statistic. Does that make sense? And I wasn't willing to go through that, guys. I wasn't willing to be a statistic. I don't want to be a statistic. Okay. I had encountered so many disappointments in life. So many devastating things had happened to me that I was afraid to believe that anything good might happen. I had a terribly negative outlook on everything. Since my thoughts were all negative, so was my mouth. Therefore, so was my life. You see that? So if your thoughts are this is so good, Emilia. This is so good, guys. This is so good. Look at this. If your thoughts are negative, okay, so think about look at this, okay? If your thoughts are negative, then so is your mouth, right? And since your mouth creates things, if you don't believe this, then start believing it, okay? Your words that come out of your mouth actually have power, have authority. You are creating what's coming out of your mouth and the thoughts that are dominating your mindset. Okay? So write that down, okay, guys? What are the thoughts that are dominating your mindset and the words that are coming out of your mouth is your reality. Your reality. Your reality is based on your thoughts and the words that come out of your mouth. So if your thoughts are negative, then most likely your mouth is negative, and when your mouth is negative, your life will be negative. If your thoughts are positive, then your mouth is positive, and when your mouth is positive, then your life is positive. You see how that works? It's really important, guys. Pure facts. That's right. Joyce Meyer. That's right. Joyce Meyer. Thank you for that. The author of this book is Joyce Meyer. By the way, do you know who Joyce Meyer is? You should hit her up. Not hit her up. She won't respond to you, okay? You should check out some of her videos. Some of her podcast stuff is really good. Good stuff, guys. So check this out. Where are we at right here? Look at this. When I really began to study the world and to trust God to restore me, so that's one thing that some of us need to do, right? Restore me, Lord. Restore my heart. Restore my heart. Renew my heart. Give me a heart transplant, right? There's have you heard of this? It says that it says from Your mouth speaks from the abundance of your heart. So what is abundant in your heart? Because your mouth speaks it. See that? What is the abundance in your heart? So you got to ask God to restore you, right? One of the first things I realized, that's why we talk about God, man, you know? So like if you're not a believer, if you're like I don't believe in God, I don't believe in those things. Well, I don't know what else to tell you because the only person that could get rid of your negative, your brokenhearted, your abused mindset, something that happened to you when you were young, the only person that could really get rid of it is God. Only Christ could renew your mind. Okay. Um, you know, some of you go to a therapist, and there's nothing wrong with going to a therapist, but the ultimate therapist is Jesus Christ, right? The first thing I realized was the negativism had to go. I had to get rid of the negativism. Guys, say that, write that down. I'm getting rid of any negative thought and any negative word that comes out of my mouth. In Matthew chapter 8, verse 13, Jesus tells us that it will be done for us as we have believed. Okay, so whatever you believe, that's what's going to be done. What is your belief systems, right? What's the BS that's going in your mind? The belief systems. Okay, as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. Everything I believe was negative, so naturally many negative things happened to me. This doesn't mean that you and I can get anything we want by just thinking about it. God has a perfect plan for each of us, and we can't control him with our thoughts and words. But we must think and speak in agreement with his will and his plan for us. Okay? So we got to get our thoughts right, okay? So I'm going to show you something really cool, okay? I'm gonna be jumping back and forth. Okay. So look, if our office, if our base shop is doing 36,000 in premium, okay, right now, for example, we're at 36,000 in premium with 191 codes. Okay. So if the code, okay, let me see if I could do this again. Okay, so hold on. It deleted the answer, huh? One. Okay, it's not doing it anymore. So give me 1 second, okay? So it's 191 $190 per code. Okay, so check this out. Then my question is going to be, what do I need to do $150,000 in the base? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that by the number of premium that gives me, and that should give me the amount of codes that I should have, right? No. Okay. So if I want 100,000 in premium, if I want 150,000 in premium, then how many codes do I need? So what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna multiply 150,000 times 191 and then divide that by 36,436. And the answer is 700. Did you see that? 786 codes. So if I want to do 150,000 in premium, then I need 780. Oops. I need 700. What the heck? I need 786 codes. You see that? All right. So this is a number that I got to focus on. See that? So if right now 191 codes is giving me 36,000 in premium, all right, then how many codes do I need to do 150,000 in premium? And the answer is 786 codes. There it is, guys. You see that? So what should I be focused on? Okay. So for example, some of you guys want to go RVP, right? So if you need to do 40,000 in premium, then how many codes do you need to have? How many codes do you need to have? This is what you need to do. You need to multiply 40,000, okay, times 191 divided by 36 436. And the answer is 209 codes. 209 codes. Give me 1 second. Something looks wrong. All right. Taking a little math detour. Give me 1 second. I have my calculator right here. So 209 codes times 285 in premium equals 59,000 in premium. Ooh, that's not right. Mm-mm-mm. Do. Oh, yeah, that's right. 36,436. So 40,000. Give me 1 second, okay, guys? I got stuck here in this math problem. 191 equals divided by 36,436. The answer is 209 codes. Yep, that's right. So, anyways, just forget about that. Just double digit recruit, please. Just please double digit recruit. Let's start with that. How about that? Yeah. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue in our positive talk here. All right. So here we go. If you don't have any idea what God's will is for you at this point, at least begin by thinking, well, I don't know what God's plan, but I know he loves me and whatever he does will be good and I'll be blessed. Begin to think positive about your life. Okay, so I skipped the paragraph. It says right here, this doesn't mean that you and I can get anything we want by just thinking about it. God has a perfect plan for each of us, and we can't control him with our thoughts and our words, but we must think and speak in agreement with his will and plan for us. If you if you don't have okay, so I'm gonna go past here. It says practice being positive each situation that arises even if whatever is taking place in your life at the moment is not good, expect God to bring good out of it as he promised in his word. Okay, so check this out. This is good. Okay. I didn't used to do this before. I used to have a very negative mindset. Okay. But but now, because I have been through some experiences like hell and high water, like serious financial troubles, like crazy adversity, like marriage problems, like my daughter was almost gonna lose her leg and never gonna walk again. Went to the hospital and that was gonna happen to Ruby, by the way. And on the way to the hospital, I was looking at my cell phone because I was like, oh crap, like making phone calls and everything. All of a sudden my car started swerving and I didn't even realize, right? Because I was on the phone and all of a sudden, boom, I hit the banqueta, the sidewalk, and I'm so glad that this little car, I don't even know what was it. It was a small car, man, but oh yeah, we used to have a Ford Focus, like a small little Ford Focus. I remember we used to drive that little car, and that little car, guys, I hit the the I went off road and hit the sidewalk, and I'm so glad that that car didn't break, man. It should have broken because how I hit it in the sidewalk in Palm Desert. I was in Country Club Drive. They're pretty high. And I was on my way to the hospital because my daughter Ruby was in the hospital and her leg was messed up and she couldn't move it. And I thought, man, we're gonna my all these things were going through my mind, right? Anyways, I've gone through a lot of adversity that that after the adversity, God has taken care of all of it. So now when something negative happens, I always look at the positive side of things. I'm always thinking it's all right, it's all good, it's gonna be taken care of you know, nothing bad's gonna happen out of this. And guys, all of a sudden, guys, things work out. So whenever I go through something that is like a little adversity, like for example, my most recent adversity was my back. And right now my back is feeling really good, really strong. But sometimes the devil messes with you, right? The devil lies to you and says, you're never gonna heal from this one. This one's really bad. You're gonna have back problems for the rest of your life. And guys, it's easy, even for me, that I've gone through all this adversity and I've seen God work miracles in my life, that it's easy that even for me, I still get lied by the devil, and the devil still tries to sneak something sneaky up on me, right? um and so what I do now is I catch myself. I say, hey, wait a minute, I know what you're doing. That's the lie from the devil. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Get out of my life. You don't belong in my brain. I don't rent space to the devil. And then I start thinking positive thoughts. I start thinking, it's all right, it's all good. It's gonna work out. Your back's gonna get better. And if it doesn't, then we'll figure out a way to make it better. We'll figure out a way to do something to adjust, to pivot to this new way of living. It's all good. See that? So I start thinking positively of the things that are going on in my life, and all of a sudden things start getting fixed. And all of a sudden my back doesn't feel bad anymore. I started doing my push-ups yesterday. I had not done them for a whole week, but yesterday was the first day I got back on my push-ups and I felt strong. Nothing crazy. I just did my 50 push-ups. Today I'm gonna do them again, and I'm gonna start doing them all over again. Yesterday we were at Mexicali. We went to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh, your back is fine. You just need to loosen up, the inflammation in your back. Just relax more. Try not to do like run. Try not to do like jujitsu or anything like that, because I told him that I do jujitsu. Um, and guys, things are getting better. You see that? Um, that's just how life is now, things get better. So if you have a negative mindset, you gotta catch it right away. You gotta snag it and say, hey, 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 I know what you're doing. The devil is a liar, right? So he's the king of all lies. So anything that is not a positive thing, that is a negative thing, then what it is that you got to realize that it's the lie from the devil, right? So here's your little Sunday sermon for today, right? But guys, I don't know how other way to explain it to you. I gotta bring up the devil. I gotta bring up God, because that's how I think. And you guys are listening to me, right? I'm the successful guy here in this chat right here, and I want to share with you guys how my mind thinks. And I want to through this Zoom, I want to share with you the way I think, so that you could think that way, so that you could make $500,000 a year, right? I could lead you to that. I could lead you to that success, to that realm. Me and my wife, that's all we do throughout the week, right? We try to impart to you the truth of what's in my mind, so that you could catch yourself and say, "Oh, wait a minute, I don't think like that." And no wonder I am where I'm at. No wonder I'm not making 100,000 a year. No wonder I don't have the power builder ring, right? So that you could catch yourself and change the way you think. Does that make sense, guys? That's the whole point of this talk, is so that I could transplant my brain into yours, and get you to think a little different than what you've thought in the past. Just think about it. Does this resonate with you? Am I striking a chord with some of your thought process that you're having, that you had yesterday, maybe you're having right now, on some of the things that you're being negative about? Okay? What are some of the negative things that you're going through right now? That you made a mistake, that maybe this will work for somebody like Raul, maybe somebody like Johnny, like Jackie Cabrera, but not me. You start comparing yourself. You start thinking that this is that you're headed in the wrong path, that it can happen to you. you know And guys, when you start changing that mindset, then everything starts changing. And you got to change the way you think. You got to be positive, right? What is world class? I'll take you to it right now, okay? Check this out. I was looking at this one too. World class, it says right here, um have great expectations. You see that? This one right here. Look at this. The world class has great expectations. One of the greatest discoveries I've made in the last 2 decades as mental toughness coach in the realization that world-class performers are driven by positive expectations. Remember that? So if you've been hurt in the past, then you're not going to expect something that way you don't get hurt again. You see what I mean? That's the negative mindset. But the positive mindset is have positive expectations. In other words, the great ones always expect to win regardless of what they are up against. Is that the mindset you have? This is going to happen. It's like almost like you're stubborn. It's almost like you have a stubborn mindset, a stubborn personality. You're like stubborn, man. You're like a mule, like no, this is going to happen for me. I'm going to make it happen. This is it. I'm not turning back. Nope. There's no turning back now. No retreat. No surrender. All right. It's do or die. Either I do it or I die trying. See that? That's the mind. That's like you're stubborn. You're stubborn, right? Because you have this positive expectation. You have a vision. Like I always talk about it, right? You have a vision for your life. You have a clear, concise mental picture. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Type on the chat. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense, man. You don't have to unmute yourself, especially if you have feedback, right? But you just type on the chat. It makes sense. It makes sense. Go ahead, type on the chat. I'm reading your chat right now. See, guys, you have to be energized, dude. What does Araceli says? The devil wants you to worry, be depressed, be anxious, be scared. You forget what God says about you. He wants you to forget about what God's plan is for your life. Yep, that's right. Okay? Stay connected, guys. Don't get distracted, man. Okay? Your distractions are ultimately going to be your destruction. In other words, the great ones expect to win no matter what they're up against. The next discovery I made was that this same positive expectation could be installed in anyone who wishes to possess it. So the question is, do you want to possess it? Do you want to possess this positive expectation? It's a programming process. You have to brainwash yourself. See, programming, that word right there? Another word for programming is brainwashing. Brainwashing. You got to program yourself. You got to program your thinking. Okay? Champions begin this process by a programming process by creating the language they use when they talk to themselves, as well as a picture they visualize. See that? So like what picture is in your mind? What vision is in your mind? What do you visualize? What do you visualize all the time? Right? And what are the words that you're talking to yourself? What are you visualize? Right? So that's the mind. You see that? And what are the words? I mean, this is just repetitive stuff. We're looking at two different books and they're both repeating themselves. Are you catching that? So that your mind visualizes, right? Because look, what color is let me see. Picture Noemi's Mercedes, right? It's like they call it the color of my wife's Mercedes is called Alpine Gray. Alpine Gray. Okay. So you could see it. When you see it, it's Alpine Gray. It's not going to be any other color, right? That's it. It's Alpine Gray, period. That's it. But now, everybody, go for it. If you're listening to my voice, close your eyes. And now, get Noemi's car in your brain, okay? The Mercedes. And now, picture it pink. And then change it red. Now, change it red. There it is. I see it. Do you see it? Now, change it into black. Midnight black with like metallic. Now you pick a color. Go ahead. Just pick any color of your choice and paint that car. You see that? That's the power of visualization. You visualize things that you can't see right now, because right now, if you open up your eyes, you don't see it. But if you close your eyes, you visualize it. So it's in your mind. You see that? So you visualize things and then you say things. You visualize things and you say things. And all of a sudden, things start to change. See that? World class performers literally talk themselves into believing anything that gives them a mental edge. Call it positive brainwashing, programming, affirmation training, auto suggestion, whatever you label it, it's the same thing. While most amateur performers rely on positive experiences to build their positive expectations. See that? That's ridiculous. Imagine you're waiting for things to get better before you do anything better, so that you could have a positive, so you could feel good. So you want everybody to change except you, right? So that you could be better, so that you could feel better. Guys, that's how losers think. Don't ever think that things will not get better. You got to go get it. You got to make them better. You got to attack. Champions call it their ace in the hole. While most amateur performers rely on positive experiences to build positive expectations, professional performers are superstars in their mind long before they are superstars in reality. So they're kind of like heroes in their mind, right? Why wait for Mother Nature to produce snow at a ski resort when it can be artificially produced right now? Then when it does snow, it simply adds powder to the very solid base. Expectation works whether it's built from real experiences or programming. The advantage of programming is that it is guaranteed to happen. See that? While experience may or may not happen. So so you got to create it in your mind, create it by the way you speak, right? Look at what God did, right? God said, "Let there be light." So he created with the words that were coming out of his mouth. It's amazing. We got to have that mindset, guys. Ultimately, guys, all that stuff is great. You have to have that mindset, speak affirmations, have the vision. But at the end of the day, guys, if you ain't working, none of that is going to happen. Okay. So some people are like self self-help self-help junkies. They're like personal development junkies. They're always developing, always listening to audios, always, and that's good. I do that too. Okay. But I know that, see, right here in this chair, if I don't make phone calls, if I don't book appointments, if I don't call recruits, if I don't do fast starts, if I don't, if I'm not meeting with somebody, appointments, if I'm not scheduling meetings, then nothing is going to happen, guys. Absolutely nothing is going to happen. Okay. So you create it and then you put it to action. Okay. Like some of you, I've shown you my chat AI, my personal assistant AI, right? So what did I do? I build it and then boom, put it aside and let it go to work so that I could do the things and focus on the things that make me big money, guys, which is meetings, appointments, meeting with somebody, getting on a phone call with a mentor or somebody to mentor or somebody to close or somebody to recruit. We gotta and that's what we did today. Um I sent you a text. I don't know if you got it, but I sent you a text that we're doing a phone blitz at 6 p.m. and we're gonna call it a national hierarchy phone blitz time. Sunday at 6 p.m. guys. We're gonna do it from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And man, those 2 hours flew by really fast, right? So from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., I need you guys to be booking appointments on Sunday night, because the number of appointments that you're going to have is what's going to get you the results the week you're going to have. Do you want to have a good week or not? Okay. So if you want to have a good week, then you got to be booking appointments today, Sunday. because Sunday sets you up for success for the rest of the week. So how many appointments do you want to set up? How many appointments do you want to have? Well, wouldn't it be smart? Wouldn't it be a good idea if you book appointments on Sunday so that Monday you already have something going on instead of waiting till Monday and then saying, "Oh crap, I don't have nothing going on." Or maybe you only have appointments on Monday, but you don't have nothing on Tuesday. But if you're phone blitzing on Sunday night, then you're booking appointments for Monday, Tuesday, or whenever they come. Does that make sense? And that's what's going to make you grow your business. That's what we did, okay? Sunday, I wasn't at my house. I would go to church. Then I would do what the champs do, what Johnny and Jackie have been doing for already a couple years, several years, a few years. And that's what we did. That's the only way to do it. I don't know how else to do it. Some of you guys are not doing it. Some of you guys do it at home. That's fine. Just stay busy, guys. Okay? Stay so busy that you're like dizzy, that you're like, whoa, whoa, what time is it? Sheesh, whoa. Okay, time is flying by. Okay? And we gotta stay active and we gotta keep making phone calls and keep booking appointments because that's where the game is at and hit your goals. What is your goal? Don't retreat. Don't surrender to your goals. Month end is tomorrow midnight. Tomorrow midnight. Okay? Yes, faith without works is dead. That's right. Faith without works is dead. So we got to take massive action. You could speak it into existence, right? I'm gonna have the best month ever. You're speaking it into existence. You're creating with your mouth. But if you don't work, then all that is just you're just babbling. It's just babbling, blah 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 blah, right? It's not really gonna work because you have to now all this stuff that I just gave you, all this stuff is awesome and it really does work, but it only works when you work. Okay, just like Primerica. It only works if you work. Okay? It only works if you work. 8531. 8531. So if you run 8 appointments, you're gonna close 3 sales, you're gonna get 1 recruit. Okay. But to get on 8 appointments, okay, you need to have 16 to 20 appointments booked. 16 to 20 appointments booked. So the question is, how many appointments do you have booked? How many appointments do you have booked this week? Count them after our call right now. I want you to count them. Count the number of appointments you have scheduled this week. And if the answer is 8, then what's going to happen is you're probably going to run 4 appointments only. Okay? So that means you're only going to close 1 sale. Maybe 2 sales if you're lucky, right? But most likely 1 sale is like guaranteed. So if you have 20 appointments, you're most likely going to run 8 to 10 appointments because people reschedule, right? You're gonna run 8 to 10 appointments, and out of those 8 to 10 appointments, you're gonna close 3 to 4 sales this week. You're gonna make $1,000, maybe 1,500, $2,000 this week with doing it like that. So you want to do a lot more than have 10 appointments a day. Every day have 10 appointments, and now this is more for full timers, right? If you're part time, then you should be booking 8 appointments a week. Or studying, or let's say you're taking your test, you should be studying the whole week dedicated to study while you work, while you take care of your family and all that stuff, so you can study for your life insurance exam. Okay. Last but not least, I want to close it down with that, guys. Make sure they did change the hour system. Okay, so the new recruit has to do their hours. Make sure you're holding. So in order for them to do their hours, the 32 hours, they have to be held accountable. Okay, so make sure you're holding your team accountable. All right, you're holding your team accountable. Your non-licensed agents that they're actually in the computer, whether they're actually studying and taking exams or they're clicking, they're clicking every 5 minutes or whatever, but they have to do the hours. Okay. So, if you have any questions on that, hit me up. Okay. But let's make sure that you're doing your part in getting people scheduled to take their life insurance exam so we could get more people licensed. Okay. We're only at 5 people licensed this month. That's kind of low because we've been licensing 15 to 20 people a month for the last 6, 7, 8 months each month. we've been doing 15 to 20 license agents per month. We've been going on a nice licensing run. But guys, if you have licensed agents, also don't forget about them, right? If they're not booking appointments, hit them up every now and then. Hey, how you doing? How you been? What you been up to? You have any appointments? Let's go make some money. I'll close it for you, give you full commission. Let's go. Let's go get it. Let's talk to these people that are licensed, guys. And if you have licensed agents that need to renew their license, make sure you're hitting them up too, making sure that they get their license renewed so that you don't lose codes. You're building codes, but you're losing codes in the back end, and that's something that we could all improve on. All right, all right, cool, cool, cool. Any questions about 8 appointments for part timers a week? Yes, 8 appointments per week. Christian. That's right, Christian. 8 appointments a week. If you book 8 appointments, four of them are gonna get rescheduled. Okay, so that means you're gonna run 4 appointments. Especially if you're not licensed, you want to be booking appointments so that you could learn this thing. Get knowledgeable about how to use your license because one day you're gonna be using your license. And you don't want that to be next year. You want that to be next month. Next month, let's say you get your life insurance license because you pass your test. You want to be in a situation that you are independent. You're field training your own teammates. You're a legit certified field trainer. You're training your own non-licensed agents. Now you're licensed. You got a $700,000 bonus and you're a district leader, you've been to 15, 20, 25 appointments, so you know how to do this. And now you recruit somebody, you get to field train them. And if you do a sale, you get the full commission and then you help them build up towards their bonus. That's the ideal situation that we need to get into when you're recruiting. Okay. When you're recruiting, make sure you're painting the picture to your new recruit that one day you're going to be the trainer. Okay. And as a district leader, if you're training somebody, you're getting paid five, six, $700 per sale every time they take you on an appointment. And we have this culture of new teammates booking appointments, and we have this culture of new licensed agents actually field training their people. They know what they're doing. Instead of having a lot of licensed agents that don't have no clue what the heck they're doing, they don't even know how to give a quote. That's not good, right? So we could all work together as a team. Trust me, I'm working on that. I'm always talking to people, and I realize, damn, we have a lot of agents, but we have a lot of agents also that have no idea what the heck they're doing. So let's plug them into the trainings, plug them into the meetings, but most importantly, let's get them on appointments, guys. Let's get them to book appointments. Let's get in the field. That's where all the money's made. All the goodies go to those that book appointments. Let's put all this great knowledge to action, and to work. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for the encouragement. 8 appointment. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Any other questions? Do you have any questions?